Hello viewers, Super GT, yeah?
You're not Super GT.
Well, with that put aside, we are going to be covering some daily races, specifically daily race A. This is actually the first time I am playing sport mode in Gran Turismo 7. Well, in Gran Turismo on a whole, I am a D-rated driver. So in this race, you will see people in E, D and C class. So the bottom of the barrel drivers. I hate to say it, but this is for the worst, newbies and people who are just trying to climb through the ranks. So the racing should be more on the sloppier, dirtier side of things, because majority of the races that you see on the YouTube platform are all high class races. Now this is the complete opposite. It's everyone fighting side by side, trying to get into first place and take home all the gravy. So as you can see, I started in 4th position. We are on the first lap and I'm already up to 3rd. Yes, I'm making an overtake in my first ever race. I'm so shocked. So I did qualifying and that's what actually put me into 4th position. Ahead of us we see 1st and 2nd place bumping and grinding. If you are under 18, close your eyes now or else I'll call your parents. Now we see we make another overtake into 2nd position in our first ever race. I'm so pleased with myself. The goal that I set for this video was to try and get into the podium, and so far we in. Goal done. So I think we're actually gonna have to readjust, and we actually readjust our placement in the race actually, as 2nd place takes us up through the inside. That sound hella sus. Passes us in the inside line, and now it's a drag race between him and 1st place. Now my thoughts is, must I just sit back and wait for these two guys to fight it out, and maybe if they slip up, take the position? And that was what I had in mind. So I was just giving them enough room, trying not to be on top of them, because my internet connection is not the greatest, to be honest with you. So I knew if they start lagging, it's probably me. Now we are in 2nd place. I'm so chuffed. I never expected this to come so far. As you can see, somehow I am not fast enough for these guys, as 2nd place is now gone back to the Ukrainian. Now the battle lasted all the way up until lap 3, where I made this fatal mistake and ran into a gravel, and I watched my chances of 2nd place running away. So with that move there, with that being done, that was my fate sealed for this race. In race 2, with my appalling time in qualifying, I still managed 1st position. So the hope and the goal of getting 1st position was in our reach. All I had to do was not bottle the race and just keep it in front. Don't let anyone ram me off the circuit, and just bring home the win. This was the first time I've ever been in 1st position, so I was a little bit cautious, but I knew I can't drive slowly, otherwise my 1st position and my hopes of winning this event would go down the toilet. And believe it or not, we actually stayed in 1st position for the entire race. So was there much action? No. Did I win? Yes. So I'm gonna take my win, even if it is a fluke. But with that thought of it being, oh, I only won because of a fluke, I knew it just didn't sit right with me to just take that one win and go with it. We needed to see if we could win again. So we went once more. I came back the next day and thought, you know what, we need to better our qualifying time, because I saw during the races I was hitting a 144 here and there. So I knew I can better this time. So if I want to stand a chance of winning again, I need to set a faster qualifying time. I need to get higher up in the grid. So that is exactly what I did. With us setting at 143.1, I knew that's gonna give us a good running with the chance of getting first position once again. And now when it came to race time, we see that 143 actually did pay off. So we are starting in pole position. So it was all about just making it around the circuit cleanly and bringing home the win. And that is exactly what happened. But I don't want to show you my side of the race, because honestly it was boring. It was just first place and then first place. No overtakes, no threats of overtakes. It was just me driving around the circuit, honestly. So what we are going to take a look at is my opponent's view of what was going on in the race, that no one was near me. I know that's kind of sounding a bit cocky, but what happened? Because I'm not a fast driver and there were people who set lap times very close to mine. So genuinely, what happened to them? So we are gonna be jumping all over the grid throughout this part of the video, but first we're gonna look at Brimmer, because Brimmer started in third position and made it to second until something happened. And when I saw it, it really just made me want to make this video. So straight away we can see 3 wide, bumping and banging on a straightaway. They didn't even reach the first turn yet. So Brimmer made it through. We see that the livery RX-8 is kind of battling as it's running into the farmlands. They're going to pick some grapes there in the vineyards. And then we just see, okay, we see cars are running off, running wide. This I expected to take so many casualties. However, from Brimmer's view, you can't really see anything big happening in the background. Now, why I wanted to follow Brimmer and make a point and show you what happened was because if you see, I'm not that far ahead of him while he is in second place. I need to find out what happened here, because he like just stopped turning and then went into the barrier. Now in iRacing, no, because there was casualties that day, him just reversing into the circuit. Now you can see that's Brimmer's race over, done and dusted. Now it's time we spectate Oshi. I probably said that wrong, apologies. So his first mistake, wheel spin. He lit up his tires trying to take off the line, and that's how he ended up going 3 wide on a straight line. And you can see bumping, yeah, there, bangs. Then he got hit from the back, which put his rear wheel in the grass. Then he had his indicator on, signaling to his other opponents, hey, I'm turning right. However, with that small tap from the silver RX-7, he ended up running wide. And then we see he just keeps making it and keeps running wide. He's really struggling to find a good line. Now from Brimmer's camera angle, we couldn't really see much as to what went on in the background, because we see cars did actually go off on that turn. With Brimmer, you didn't actually see anything because he was a little bit too far ahead. Now we see that the silver RX-7 is blocking. He is trying to avoid losing his position, and somehow he still let slip. Then there was a little bit of contact. Now if you've watched the introduction video to sport mode, they emphasize how contact is a big no-no. When I say a big no-no, I mean it is massive. You are not allowed to have any form of contact. However, since this is daily race A, none of that matters, because it doesn't affect your driver's rating or anything like that. So with all the banging here and there were no penalties. So honestly, go out, go all out. It's a demolition derby if you want. Just make it across the line. That's all that matters. How you did it, if you race cleanly, dirty, doesn't matter. Now in fourth position, following DR's speed, Now we see instead of back, but he went ghosted because he was traveling with too much speed and the game picked up, hey, there's gonna be a crash. Now we see in the back we have cars running off into the field. I don't know, everyone just didn't know where the braking markers were, and it just didn't seem to be going well for a lot of the races in this event. Now I just want to prepare you for the chaos that you're about to witness. So we see white RX-7 off, silver RX-7 off. White RX-7 comes from the back, slides off the circuit, he cuts in front, he runs into a gravel, contacts the white RX-7. How much just occurred on that screen? Genuinely. Then we see that Brimmer is coming back and there's contact. Look at this. Filth on my screen. Absolute contact. Brimmer is fighting back. Almost spun the silver RX-7 out. And look at this. Brimmer is backwards. RX-7 that's I thought Brimmer's race was finished earlier. No. Now it has to be done. Because look at the body on the actual RX-8. Look how wavy and dented and just abused this poor car is. But it's all of them. That's not the thing. It's the RX-8 ahead of him, behind him, the one behind him. It's just carnage. You look at this. They ran wide. Why? In the heat of the moment, I understand. I ran wide in qualifying. I've ran wide. But my guy, I'd rather brake early than run wide. I feel like this is gonna come back to haunt me when I carry on with my daily races and things. So I just wanted to show you, this is what racing in the D category is. The D driver racing. This is what you witness. Honestly, I would love to have super close up intense racing. However, to me this is fun. Watching this is honestly just so much better, because I can be in an intense battle. But this, I'll never forget this. This to me is more memorable than getting a first place. You can see, look at this. This is beautiful racing right here. The RX-8 coming into block. Let's see, is there gonna be contact? Yes there is. There's always gonna be contact in this level of racing. Now, I do plan on increasing my driver's rating, but at the same time I'm on the fence of, do I really want to? Because the content here, watching these races, even for not YouTube purposes, just being a part of these races is so much fun. So with that being said, I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe, and I'll just see you in the next one. You know, if you did enjoy this type of like online racing, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will make more content like this and try and make it better than this. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.